Life begins with a cry and ends with silence. In between, we scramble to make sense of it all. But what about the moments before we were born or the infinity that follows our last breath? These are mysteries we cannot touch, leaving us to grapple with a profound question. Why are we here? If we don't know where we came from, how can we truly know where we're going? And if the end is unknowable, does anything we do now even matter? This is the puzzle that has haunted humanity since the dawn of consciousness. What is the meaning of life? Across cultures and centuries, we've tried to answer this question. Religions suggest divine purpose, offering hope and comfort. For some, meaning lies in love, connection, or the simple joy of existence. Yet, for others, the answer is bleak. Life has no inherent meaning. This is nihilism, the belief that nothing matters, that good, evil, and purpose are human illusions. At first glance, it's terrifying. But is it also liberating? Think back to the first time you questioned the world around you. Maybe it was the moment you realized Santa wasn't real, or when life forced you to face a painful truth. The more you asked why, the more the answers unraveled until you were left with nothing. That's the crux of nihilism. It's not just a philosophy, it's a confrontation with the void. But here's the twist. From nothing, you can create anything. Nietzsche famously declared, "God is dead." He wasn't celebrating, but warning. Without old structures, humanity faces a choice: crumble into despair or build something new. Alan Watts echoed this sentiment, urging us to see life not as a riddle to solve, but a dance to enjoy. After all, if nothing matters, isn't that the ultimate freedom? Picture this. The optimist sees the glass half full, the pessimist half empty. The nihilist? They toss the glass aside altogether, because in the grand scheme of things, who cares about the glass? What matters is the act of drinking. Nihilism challenges the very foundations of our beliefs. Why is human life more valuable than an animal's? Why do we follow certain rules, but not others? These aren't easy questions, and our inability to answer them only deepens the void. But here's the thing. Within this void lies the chance to rewrite the rules. Rather than despair, nihilism can be an invitation to live fully, to embrace the absurd, to find joy in the fleeting. If life has no inherent meaning, then every moment becomes an open canvas. As Shakespeare wrote, "Life's but a walking shadow, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing." But maybe that's okay. Maybe we don't need a grand purpose. Maybe living is reason enough. Let's start with a question that's haunted humanity since the dawn of time. Why are we here? We're born, we live, and we die. That much we know. But what about everything before and after? The parts we can't see, can't remember, and may never understand. These blind spots in our existence often leave us grappling with an unsettling question. Does any of this matter? And if we're being honest, this question has no definitive answer. Some find solace in religion, believing in a higher power that gives our lives meaning. Others turn to love, passion, or the thrill of simply being alive. But for many, the answer is chillingly simple. Life is meaningless. It always begins with one tiny, innocent word. Why? Why am I here? Why do I do what I do? Why does anything matter? At first, the question feels empowering, but the deeper you dig, the harder it gets. The answers start unraveling until you find yourself staring into a void where meaning once lived. This void is where nihilism begins. Nihilism, at its core, declares that there is no inherent purpose in life, no cosmic plan, no divine script. It's the belief in nothing, a philosophy born from asking why too many times and realizing that maybe there's no answer. The philosopher Alan Watts once said, life is nothing more than a journey from the maternity ward to the crematorium. Nihilism pushes this thought further. It rejects not just the journey, but the destination, and even the idea of meaning itself. But nihilism isn't the same as pessimism. Pessimists think the world is bleak, but at least they acknowledge good and bad exist. Nihilists? They reject the entire concept of good and bad, seeing morality, values, and even truth as human-made illusions. Nihilism didn't start as a philosophical stance. It was born in literature, a reaction to the chaos and uncertainty of the world. Over time, it evolved into a worldview that challenged the foundations of human belief. The most famous advocate of this idea was Friedrich Nietzsche, who famously declared, "God is dead." He wasn't celebrating, he was warning us. Without a higher power or absolute truth, humanity faces a dangerous crossroads. If we strip away all meaning, what's left? Nietzsche saw this crisis as both a challenge and an opportunity. If old values no longer hold, we're free to create new ones. But this freedom is a double-edged sword. Without meaning, life can feel like a free-fall, but it's also a chance to build something new, a way to rise above the void. Fast forward to today, and nihilism feels more relevant than ever. Traditional institutions are crumbling. Religion is no longer the cornerstone of many lives. Social media amplifies every doubt, every critique, every alternative perspective. In this noisy, chaotic world, meaning can feel elusive. If life is fleeting and fragile, if nothing we build or achieve will last forever, then what's the point? It's a thought that creeps in during the quiet moments, gnawing at the edges of our consciousness. But here's the thing. Nihilism doesn't have to be the end of the story. It can be the beginning of something transformative. Philosopher Albert Camus wrestled with this very dilemma. He called it the absurd. The tension between our deep desire for meaning and the universe's silent indifference. Camus didn't shy away from the absurd. He embraced it. Instead of despairing over life's lack of meaning, he argued that we should live anyway. Squeeze every drop of joy, beauty, and experience out of life. Not because it's meaningful, but because it's fleeting. Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a vast ocean. The waves stretch endlessly, uncaring and eternal. You can choose to despair at your insignificance, or you can dive in, feel the cold water against your skin, and let yourself be fully alive in the moment. If life has no inherent meaning, then it's a blank canvas. You are the artist. You hold the brush. This freedom can feel terrifying, but it's also exhilarating. Without rules or a predefined purpose, you get to decide what matters. For some, it's love. For others, it's art, knowledge, adventure, or simply the joy of being alive. Instead of asking, "What is the meaning of life?" start asking, "What meaning will I create?" Here's the paradox of nihilism. If nothing matters, then everything matters. Every moment, every choice, every fleeting experience becomes an opportunity to define your existence. When you let go of the need for a grand cosmic purpose, you free yourself to find meaning in the little things. The laughter of a friend, the beauty of a sunset, the thrill of pursuing a passion. Life's value isn't handed to you. It's something you build moment by moment. The question, "Why are we here?" is universal. It's a question that unites us as humans, a thread woven through every culture, every era. And while the answer may never come, the act of seeking it gives life its richness. So if you ever find yourself staring into the void, feeling the weight of nihilism pressing down, remember, you're not alone. The void is part of the journey, and from that void, you have the power to create something extraordinary. If these ideas resonate with you, hit subscribe and join us as we explore life's biggest questions. Together, let's embrace the absurd, challenge the void, and create meaning in a world that offers none. Because in the end, the question isn't, what is the meaning of life? It's what meaning will you create?